big shit, bro. Like, for real. There's a ton of productive women out here in society right now. A ton of black women that's really just popping. And I think us men have fallen behind the power curve. And the issue is that even with us having fell behind this power curve, we are still at an nauseam. We are still accepted by our black women. We're still supported by them. And we don't show them, we don't reciprocate that same support. And we also don't do it in the form of dating and in the form of marriage. I'm in some dating groups on Facebook, as I'm pretty sure quite a few of us are. So let me put it like this. I'm in dating groups. I know some people are in, you know what I'm saying, beard game matters and thick chicks matter and all that shit. I'm talking about dating groups. I'm in dating groups on Facebook. And I've seen in all of these groups, as a matter of fact, I've seen in these groups where black men show a willingness to accept women of another culture if the opportunity presented itself. And I also see a willingness by black women to do the same. But I would say that black women's willingness to do so is kind of like, is almost like a black person being racist towards a white person. It's a response. You know what I mean? Black women are only willing to do so because so many of us black men do so. Not willing, but we do. We do marry outside of our culture. We marry white women. We marry Asian women, Hispanic women. And you know, you see black women here and there with white men. You do. But like I said, it's a response to an action. And we simply have to discontinue that action, honestly. And maybe not necessarily discontinue it. Nah, fuck that. I'm sorry, I gotta keep it real. We need to be culturally responsible, man. I mean, we need to discontinue that shit. For real. You know, I can really like look at like, you know, my Snapchat or my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever, my Twitter, whatever. And like I can really just throw off, you know what I'm saying, a ton of women who are just that deal. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gotta be somebody, you know what I'm saying, that just it's gotta make sense in their mind that like, bro, I should really fuck with this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? But I can't touch all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. Respectfully, I can't. And I just feel like we need to really like take hold of these women and try to make our world, our black America, our black world, whatever. I think we need to try to make that a better place. And I think we can definitely make it a better place by just being a little bit more culturally responsible, you know. And I know that term that I use, cultural responsibility, I know that the way I'm using it in this podcast, in this episode, is probably going to be taken by some people as me being a racist. I got to point out again, racism implies a superiority complex from one culture to another. I don't think that my culture is better than any other culture, but I do think that some principles of other cultures are not practiced by my own culture, and there's some principles that we do need to practice, and one of them being cultural responsibility. Within the realm of dating, we need to be culturally responsible, man. Like we do. Like, I mean, how can I? You know, one of the things that I want to do is I want to buy a house in the neighborhood I grew up in, and I kind of want to, you know what I'm saying, on some buy back the block type shit. I want to spread that, you know what I'm saying, through to like a whole block. I want to just be able to, you know what I'm saying, own the whole block that I grew up on. In order for me to make that block better, you know what I mean, we have to populate it with people, you know what I'm saying, with like-minded people of, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, the same culture, and show people that we are different. But we must do it from within this culture. How do we do it within this culture if we go out every day and we mix cultures, you know what I'm saying? We mix the culture up, you know what I'm saying? Basically, we mix with other cultures. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I see on a daily basis how, you know, Caucasian Americans look after their own. And I see on a daily basis how we tear our own down. And I just feel like we have to be more culturally responsible, you know? And I'm not sitting here, I'm not saying that like, you know, we got to completely separate ourselves from the white man. I'm not Marcus Garvey up here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. But there was once a time where when we were separate, when we were completely like separate from, you know, white America, when there was whites only shit and then there was quote unquote colored shit, you know, that was a time where, you know, black people for the most part in America were culturally responsible. You had, you know, people who stepped outside and, you know, they were kind of, you know, the mavericks, if you will. You got, you know, men that dated white women. You got black women that, you know, dated white men during the 40s and 50s. It was very few, I'm pretty sure. I can't pull up, you know what I'm saying, records of who dated who, obviously. But it is definitely was not as much then as it is now. I know, you know, for a fact that black men marry outside the culture more than any other race of men in America. And I think that that's sad. You know, I remember when I was stationed in Okinawa as a Marine, there was a ton of guys that always wanted to, you know, get themselves a little Japanese chick and bring her back to the States. And I remember, you know, I slept with some Japanese girls. I'm not going to lie about that. But I just remember that, you know, for me, and I'm speaking truthfully when I say this, you can ask anybody that I serve with, they'll tell you the same thing about me. Like, for me, it meant more to rock with a sister. Even when I was 18, 19 years old, it just meant more to me to rock with a sister. And I don't know why it was like that for me then. You know, I can't explain that. I know why now, but I can't explain why it was that way then. But it just was that way. It's always been that way. You know what I mean? And I'm also not going to sit up here and I'm not going to lie as if I haven't stepped outside of the culture. I have. I absolutely have. I just spoke on the fact that I slept with women of Japanese descent. Some women of Hispanic descent. And, you know, yes, some Caucasian American women. Yes, I have. But I mean, it's something about, man, that level of support that you get from a sister, man, is just unmatched. And me being who I am as a black man, as a Leo, as, you know what I'm saying, a person who really thinks highly of himself, you know, you're not going to, I don't know. I can't speak on it because I haven't done it on that level. I don't know if white women are going to like feed my ego like that. Or I don't know if white women are going to make me feel like I'm the man. But I know that on some level, on one level or another, in some way, every single black woman that I've ever been with has made me feel like I was that motherfucking nigga. And it's an amazing feeling that I get from black women, and I just can't see myself with no other. That's really it. I think that we all have to support each other, and I want us men to start supporting our women more. That's really what I want. I want us to get to that point where, our relationship, the relationship between the black man and the black woman, is just unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? It's just that thing, and that's really what I want. And that's the reason for this episode, and that's the reason for me speaking. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. Man, I feel good as fuck to be back on this thing, doing my motherfucking thing. I feel great. So I want to give a shout out to the Ugly Reggie podcast. My dog Fred and my dog Reggie. Man, when I tell you that they doing some good work, I've actually been a part of some of their work. They're doing some amazing work out here in these streets. That is a movement that I can most certainly support, and I'm proud of them niggas, man. I really am. They got this. It's this thing that they got, and it's great, and it really needs to be heard. It really does. They have earned the right to be heard by the masses, and I look forward to seeing their progression. And I've watched some of their progression, and it just it's a beautiful thing. I also want to give a shout out to the Corporate Streets podcast, my homies Jaren and my homie TJ. I mean, what can I say, man? I've been a part of their work as well. They're an amazing pair, and they have the Corporate Streets podcast, and they also have the Powercast. It's just they do really great work. They have earned the right as well to be listened to by the masses, and it's just really good to see, black people doing something other than some negative shit. And it's success. It really is success. And success is not necessarily measured by who all listens to you or who knows that you have a podcast. Sometimes it's just based on the fact that you're doing something that needs to be done. And with that being said, I'm out this thing. This has been the 2020 Vision Podcast. I'm still gonna be Mike Chuck 1212, and I am the motherfucking ghost.